The human stepped cautiously over the jagged terrain of the alien battlefield. Smoke curled into the blood-red sky, mingling with the acrid scent of burning metal. The war had left nothing untouched once. Thriving cities were now crumbling skeletons, and the ground was littered with remnants of fallen soldiers, both human and alien. But even amidst the chaos, he moved with purpose, his eyes scanning the wreckage for a presence others might have ignored. A faint whimper reached him before he could see its source. Kneeling behind a broken hovercar, a small alien child, no older than 6 by human standards, trembled, its 4 eyes wide with terror. Its purple skin was scorched, and one of its limbs was bent at an unnatural angle. The human froze, only for a heartbeat, then his instincts took over. He had come prepared for enemies, not orphans. Yet there was something in the child's eyes, raw fear and helplessness, that demanded protection. Carefully, he approached, speaking softly in the universal dialect they had learned during the peace missions. "Don't be afraid," he said, holding out his hands. "I won't hurt you." The child's gaze flickered to the wreckage around them, then back to the human. Its small hands clutched a shattered piece of armor, probably a keepsake from a parent. Finally, with a hesitant step, it allowed him to scoop it into his arms. The battlefield was far from safe. Alien drones still hovered above, scanning for survivors to eliminate. Human artillery fires occasionally carved through the horizon, seeking strategic targets. Yet, he carried the child as if time had slowed around them, weaving through debris, avoiding detection with a skill honed from years of survival in harsher environments than any classroom could teach. Hours passed. The human finally reached a secluded canyon, hidden beneath jagged cliffs that shielded them from the drones. The child clung to him, shivering, its alien physiology reacting poorly to human warmth yet craving it all the same. He pulled a medkit from his pack, tending to the broken limb with gentle hands, stabilizing it with makeshift supports. The child whimpered but did not resist. "What's your name?" he asked softly. The child hesitated, then whispered in a trembling voice. "Nira." "Nira," he repeated. "It's going to be okay. I promise." Unbeknownst to him, a pair of sharp, calculating eyes had been observing their movement. High above, hidden among the jagged cliffs, Nira's mother watched with a mixture of rage and confusion. She was a commander, a warrior bred for a lifetime of strategy and combat. To see a human enemy, the one species that had killed thousands of her kind cradling her child, unscathed and unthreatened, ignited something she had never expected. Curiosity. She descended silently, gliding over the canyon with a predator's grace. Her armored suit shimmered in the fading light, a perfect blend of lethal elegance and alien design. Humans had always fought with determination, yes, but rarely with such precise mercy. She needed to know why. Meanwhile, the human had fashioned a temporary shelter within the canyon. Nira, still trembling, curled against a thermal blanket he had rigged from his supplies. He prepared food carefully, knowing her alien digestive system might react differently. He watched her eat slowly, encouraging her with a quiet voice. Every small gesture, the shared warmth, the gentle touch, the steady gaze was a declaration of something far beyond the battlefield. Humanity. Hours turned into a day, and Nira's mother finally revealed herself. The human did not flinch, even as she landed gracefully before him, her eyes blazing with intensity. He rose slowly, hands visible, showing no hostility. "Step away from my child," she demanded, her voice low but charged with authority. "I won't hurt her," he replied evenly. "She was alone. I saved her. That's all." Her gaze narrowed, scanning his face, reading the sincerity in his tone. She expected fear, deceit, or weakness. Instead, she saw resolve, a steadfast courage that neither intimidated nor cowed. Humans were unpredictable. That unpredictability was both dangerous and fascinating. "You are the enemy," she said, her voice cold. "And yet, you show compassion." "I protect life," he said simply. "No matter whose it is." A silence followed. The battlefield roared in the distance, but within that canyon, the war felt suspended. For the first time, the alien mother hesitated, questioning assumptions she had held her entire life. "Why?" she finally asked, almost whispering. "Because someone once protected mine," he replied. "I know what it means to be left alone, to be afraid, to lose hope. I won't let it happen to her." Her 4 eyes, unblinking, softened just slightly. The child in his arms stirred, sensing the shift in her mother's demeanor. There was recognition and understanding that the human was not a threat to her child, at least not in the ways the war had taught her to expect. Over the next days, an uneasy truce formed. The human cared for Nira, cleaned her wounds, and even taught her simple games to distract from the trauma. He built small contraptions from scraps of technology, letting her curiosity flourish again. Nira laughed quietly, a sound that seemed almost alien to the mother. Yet it drew her closer, even as she remained cautious. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and violet, the human in Nira sat near a fire he had managed to light. "She trusts you," the mother said from the shadows, her voice softer than before. "I don't want her to fear anyone," he replied. "And yet," she countered, stepping into the light, "she is your responsibility." Now, he looked up at her. "I only want to help. That's all I've ever wanted." She studied him for a long moment, her instincts warred with the logic of the situation. This human, so fragile in appearance, yet unwavering in courage, was unlike any enemy she had faced. And yet, it was his courage that had preserved her child. That simple act, human as it was, carried a weight no weapon could match. "Then I will watch," she said finally. "But if you betray her, if you harm her, you will answer to me." "I would never," he said, meeting her gaze without fear. As days passed, the mother observed silently, testing his character. Watching his interactions with Nira, she saw patience, an unwavering moral compass, a human ability to act nobly despite chaos surrounding them. Slowly, trust built itself like fragile scaffolding over a ravaged world. During one supply run, the human had to face enemies again. He fought not out of hatred but necessity, defending his position so Nira could remain safe. The mother, watching from above, felt a mixture of astonishment and respect. She had trained her entire life to anticipate threats, yet this human, so simple in appearance, so unarmed in heart, stood firm, protecting life, even the life of an alien child. The moment that sealed her respect came unexpectedly. A rogue alien patrol cornered them while the human was gathering water from a contaminated river. Nira hid in the shadows, trembling, while he stood between her and the attackers. They underestimated him, expecting fear, expecting retreat, but he moved with a calm precision, using minimal force to neutralize threats without unnecessary destruction. The mother landed silently behind him, watching, and felt an unfamiliar sense. This human had done what many of her warriors could not. He had protected her child while preserving dignity and life. She realized that in this being there was something transcendent, something beyond mere survival instinct. Humanity, she understood, carried within it an innate force, courage, empathy, and resilience that could challenge the strongest armadas or the deadliest tactics. When the skirmish ended, she finally stepped forward, revealing herself fully. The human did not flinch. Nira ran to her mother, tears in her eyes, and the mother bent down, embracing her child. Then she looked at him. "You're different," she said quietly, almost in awe. "I am human," he replied simply. "That you are," she said. "And perhaps that is why I cannot destroy you, because you remind me that life can be preserved even in the darkest of times." From that day forward, a new understanding blossomed. The human, the child, and the alien mother formed a fragile alliance born not of treaties or politics, but of simple acts of protection and trust. Across the war-torn landscape their story spread quietly, rumors of a human who had protected the child of an enemy, and of an alien mother who had recognized the extraordinary nature of humanity. Even as battles raged on elsewhere, in that secluded canyon, life began to reclaim itself. Nira played again, laughed again, and learned to trust once more. The human continued to guide her gently, teaching, protecting, and inspiring. The alien mother, while still a warrior at heart, learned to see humans differently, not just as enemies, but as beings capable of great courage and honor. And in that tiny, hidden corner of the galaxy, amidst ruins and fires, a simple truth emerged. Sometimes, the most powerful weapon is not fire or steel, but the courage to protect life, even when the world expects you to destroy it. And sometimes, it is in such moments, in the act of preserving innocence, that humans reveal the very best of what they are. The war outside continued, unforgiving and relentless. But inside the canyon, hope had taken root. A human, an alien child, and her mother, a trio bound not by allegiance, but by the undeniable power of trust, courage, and the quiet, extraordinary light of humanity.